there is a physical view of equipment where we can power on and off the equipment, and while it is powered off, add or remove additional interface cards in modular equipment. One thing that this will not do, we will see it does not show link lights and does not show attached cables. There is another physical view where it's in the entire physical workspace. So if we go to the physical workspace by clicking on the physical logical bar, we will go into initially Intercity view, where we can navigate using scroll bars. Here's our home city. Within our home city, I'm going to zoom out a little. We can see there are 3 buildings, an ISP building, a corporate office building, and down here, an East office building. Now you might remember that in our logical topology there was a remote branch. This gray hatched area represents a wireless service area. And you might remember that our wireless was in our remote branch. Let's go into the corporate office, into its wiring closet, and we can see all the remote equipment. The remote ISP, the remote wireless router, and the remote laptop are all in the corporate office in our home city. So what we would like to do is revise this topology, this physical workspace, to include a new city and to move our remote equipment into a new building in that new city. Now we can navigate by going back and back, or we can use our navigation window and jump straight to Intercity view. We can use our physical logical bar and add a new city. Now where did that go? New items are added in the top left corner. Let's move it next to the road. There's our city. Unfortunately, my screen capture program evidently interferes with keyboard input into physical view because I can't successfully rename objects, although in the actual program you can. Let's go into the city. Let's create a new building. Once again, move it near a road. And while we're at it, let's create a new closet and move it into the building. But it's not in the building, is it? Even if I zoom out, not in the building. What happened? Well, I actually, even though it appears to be in the building, I actually have to move the object into the office building. Move to office building. Now, if we go inside the office building, we'll see it's in the office building. And right now, even though it shows a rack and a table, I can zoom all the way out and there's nothing there. So let's reset the zoom. What we need to do is move the equipment, the remote equipment, from the rack and table in the corporate office main wiring closet to the new wiring closet in the new building. You saw one way of moving where we can pick the move object and then move it and designate its destination. Another way we can do that is within our navigation window. We can simply, so there's our remote ISP. Let us drag it down into this wiring closet. It will create a rack to hold it. Here's our remote wireless router. I will move that to the wiring closet in the new building. And our laptop into the wiring closet in the new building. And there they are. Once we're in this view, we can click on any device and open up our familiar interface, where we can change its configuration commands, but we cannot move its cables. Here we see link lights that are up and running, and we see what interfaces the cables are plugged into. But in this view, I cannot move the cable. One nice thing is if I hover over a cable, it will show me what is the source device and what is the remote device and what port does it go into. Very useful. So navigation back. Let's go back to Inner City View. Jump to the selected location. If you remember, when we first created the city, there was no cable. But now that we moved our equipment, the cable had to extend to the new city. Cable length is actually known inside the home city. We might notice that this goes from serial to serial. So the cable length does not matter to the functioning because it's a serial cable in Packet Tracer. However, if this was an Ethernet cable that was 503 meters long, it would have no connectivity. So when you're moving equipment, be conscious of that. If you move an Ethernet cable longer than 100 meters, you will have no connectivity. Unlike the real world where you may find occasionally partial connectivity. Let's go back to Logical View. We can go into our remote branch cluster and we see our remote equipment up and running. Thank you for your time.